Hello, I'm Chrissy Seaton and welcome to my channel. You know, we are in the presence of God 24/7. So we say we walk with God all the time, but are we really? Let's take a little look at what it means to be walking with God and having that private one-to-one with God. So, a private audience with God at any time. Now, that means that we are fairly special to God. He has great interest in everything we do. We're like an only child. Everything we do and say and need is of concern for Hashem. So, this private audience that we can have with God at any time, it's about being alone with the King. It's about being treated like an only child. And this is our Creator, Hashem. So we need to put some thought into that and to let that sort of filter in, let it sink in. So what I have to say today probably applies to men and women alike, but because it is Women of Wisdom Weekly, I wanted to just specifically concentrate on women here. However, it will be of interest to other people as well. So being alone with God at any time, just you. There's no spectators. It's that time when you have that your inner thoughts can be expressed to Hashem. There's nobody listening. It's just you in all your glory or lack of it at the time. It's you as you and God as God. So the two of you are together. You've got all your thoughts and feelings are exposed to God. Your inner essence is exposed. The real you is there. And also, what you have to concentrate on is that this is an opportunity for you to improve yourself, to correct yourself, to maybe ponder and pour out some heartfelt things to Hashem, knowing that eventually there will be an answer to this. Eventually something will filter through and you'll know what the right and correct thing to do is. So you want to be, let's just talk about the spiritual me, the spiritual person. They're much more comfortable when they're alone with God, and so it should be that way. It's a private space, private communication, and this is where your deepest spiritual essence is allowed to come out. It's not being flaunted or trotted out in public. This is a private audience. So therefore, that the moaning and the groaning of your thoughts and I wish I'd done this or I hadn't done that or I need help with this, all that comes out when you are having your private audience with Hashem. And don't be afraid just to sit silently. There's nothing wrong with silence. Just mere thoughts. Hashem knows how you feel. So that deepest spiritual essence that I talk about, or that I refer to, that real deep down within. So where is it actually coming from? I mean, we say these words and expressions and we think, well, what is my deep spiritual essence? Where is it? Where's it come from? Where's it sit? Well, let me tell you. Where is it residing, this deepest spiritual essence? It remains a resident, permanent resident within our soul, our neshama. That's where it is. And so when we talk about the soul, we're essentially referring to that spiritual inner essence, that something that we can't catch it and put it in a pigeonhole or anything like that. It's that whole essence of the you, yourself. So this very definition of self, meaning me, you, etc., our righteousness as Noahide women resides within our neshama. So I'll just say that again. Our righteousness as women, and this applies to all women and men, incidentally, but I'm just referring to women today. So our neshama, and specifically if there's Noahide women watching, and if not, it's all women just the same, but that is it. Our soul, within our soul, that's our neshama. That, you can say neshama and it means soul, and it means your neshama. So that's a very and it's individual to each person. It's like our let's say put it in a realistic sort of way. It's like a place where your most precious jewel is hidden away. No one can see it. This special diamond, one of a kind, can't be touched or accessed by anyone else. It's this wonderful, wonderful gift. That's what your neshama is. It's divine, it's precious, it's unique. It can't be replicated. So the closer we walk with God, the more our inner spirituality seems to rise, to illuminate. And that deep, private part of our soul, our integrity, it illuminates us, and within and also ultimately benefits us and the community as a whole and in the entire world. So let me just say that neshama, that inner spirituality, that private part I've been talking about, that is an illumination within us, and it is what benefits the community and the rest of the world. So it's not like you've got a big light on your head, say, hey, look at me. It's not meant to be like that. In fact, it's meant to be the opposite, because it is that private essence, that speciality that is only you. Only you have that neshama. Nobody else shares the same one. Your soul, it's something nobody else can touch except Hashem and you. So, just had to make a few notes because I didn't want to miss anything in this, as long as I keep track of the notes. So I've put here sort of, these are my words, incidentally. Our spirituality, it is a private and personal essence. Think of it like that. So it's not an external thing. It's not a public image that people see. Like you go out, people can see what you're clothed in, you're dressed in, the shoes you wear, in the car you're driving, whatever. Well, this spiritual essence of you, it's not something that everybody says, oh, look at her spiritual essence today. Don't like the red dress, but, oh, isn't her spirit? It's not like that. It's not like that. This is something more precious than your external vision or external impression that you make. So our private inner spiritual essence can actually miraculously inspire other people. It can. Now, I would just pause here and say, I bet you can think of someone that you've either heard speak or someone in your family. It could have been a school teacher, could have been anyone, but you've all probably come across someone in your lifetime that you sort of had to, it might not have even been so much the topic they said it, but was the way they said it, the impression they imparted, the wisdom or the empathy. It was something about that person that you haven't forgotten. Many of us can think of people like that have touched our lives. It's what they've said or done or something, and we've come away feeling so much better for having had that engagement with that person. And you can't put your finger on what it is sometimes. Well, that's what it is. It's that person's neshama, something about them, that's something about that person. It's the neshama, their neshama. It's striking a chord with yours. It's making your mind think. They're illuminating, albeit in private, but it's an illumination of their neshama. So, we say, oh, I don't know what it is about that person, but gee, always enjoy chatting with them. I'm sure when you stop watching this video today, you're going to think about that. So that's what I mean about the neshama. It's the essence. It's not the clothing. It's not the physical things. So these people, and there's many of them will inspire you, or suddenly you can hear the same thing said 100 times, and then suddenly just one person's probably saying exactly the same thing, but the light bulb goes on. That's all coming from that person's special makeup, that great mythical, mysterious, the neshama, the spiritual. So a closer walk with God, it begins with you making one small resolution. So what's that going to be? It's as simple as this: smiling kindness towards others. It just begins with your smile. When you pass somebody in the street, you can have a smile. We're afraid to do that sometimes. When you're being served by someone, in a shop or whatever it is, smile. Say thank you. Have a good day. Bless you. Thank you so much for your help. And smile and mean it. They're things that we've forgotten to do. And if we haven't, we wonder whether it's appropriate to do it. Well, I'm telling you, it is appropriate. If you mean it and you want to do it, you smile at that person, say, oh, bless you, thank you, you've been very helpful to me, or you have a good day, things like that. I often say, oh, look, God bless you, you've done a wonderful job for me. People will, especially when you get a bit older like me, your wrinkles show up a bit, especially in real life. And you're struggling with your trolley back to the car, and you know how their car parks are always on a slope, so you're always struggling, and the supermarket trolley's crabbing along, and often people will run up and they'll think, oh, poor old lady, and sort of grab the other end of it. And it is great, because if you've got a lot of stuff in a supermarket trolley and it's decided it's going downhill on a certain slope, it's only a matter of you tripping on a pebble, that trolley goes berserk and runs into the beat of somebody else's car, probably. But if someone does something like that to you, it's in your heart and you're thinking, oh, thank God that man was placed in front of me, or say, oh, bless you, thank you for that, thank you so much appreciated. Be grateful. for things people do. Don't be afraid to smile at someone. Don't, we're all so busy looking at the ground and going about our business that we forget how the simple act of making eye contact with another human being and a smile, nod of a head, we miss opportunities sometimes to allow our neshama to do the work it should be doing. Don't prevent it from doing that. I'm very short, and you want to grab something high up and you can't. And the number of times someone will just appear from nowhere, they know what you're doing, and they'll, which bottle is it, or what can is it, or, what box is it? And you tell them, they reach it down. I mean, that's lovely. That's lovely when people do that. And you should thank them and be grateful, because that's the hand of God working. That person is inspired by something to reach that down. They're thinking, that lady can't reach that, I'll grab that. People still do those things. People are still doing those things in this day and age. Not as frequently. Some men are a little afraid to jump forward and do things for women, because they've been hounded about, women can do whatever men can do. I mean, it's terrible. But you know what? If a man or woman does anything for me, I'm grateful. And I smile and I thank them, because I really mean it, and also because it's the right thing to do. So, that smiling kindness towards others, and as you're smiling, you mightn't even be, it's just, God bless you. You're thinking that. You hope that Hashem is blessing that person. It's a silent blessing. Try it today. You're going to feel great, and it will inspire you, because you almost get little tingles up your spine when you do a kindness for someone, be it in speech or a smile, and they respond, it's a reward for you too. So don't think that, I've got enough to do in my life, I don't need to be forcing myself to smile at people. Well, you know what? At some stage you're going to have to force yourself to do it. And the strange thing about it is, once you've been forced to do it once, the next time it's not that hard, and the next time it's even easier. And before you know where you are, it's happening without you realising. And your neshama is jumping up and down, all excited about it. So make your neshama happy. Start smiling more, and just really appreciate and thank Hashem for opportunities that He gives us. And that private time that we spend talking to Him, really it benefits us in more ways than we can ever imagine. In the meantime, please take care, and God bless.